Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Evgeny. This is Michael from the 7-step system to pass the TOEFl IBT. So let's take a look at what you have. So your integrated writing practice test number 1. I don't think you've exactly gotten the connection. Remember, the whole purpose of the integrated writing task, especially in the listening, is to convey the relevant information in the listening that relates to the relevant information in the reading. And I think, according to the video that you watched, the reading passage discusses the main concept of what taxes are, and it divides them into two categories, direct and indirect taxation, right? Now, the listening, it goes beyond just defining taxes. It explains the unintended consequence of taxes. Obviously, when we tax, we hope to increase revenue, but according to the listening passage, it can actually decrease revenue. So I think partly that's kind of what the connection was between, I think, the two sources. And as it says in the listening passage, there's an unanticipated negative effect, smuggling, theft, and murders over cigarette smuggling and financing terrorism. So there are some things that can happen, the unintended things that might happen with taxes that we don't expect. So I think that's kind of the main idea there. And then the listening passage presents some evidence to support what those unanticipated negative effects are or unintended consequences are. Okay, so going back to your practice test, in the beginning, you have the reading and the lecture discuss taxation issues and its impact into development of non-legal activities. I think the reading doesn't really discuss non-legal activities, but the listening does. You have the lecture provides, as we could say, the other side of the coin by implementing examples of smuggling and thief or theft activities. So instead of giving those details, you might say the lecture presents another side of the coin by looking at the unintended consequences of taxation. That would probably be good enough, I think, in your first paragraph, is just mention that. And then when you get into the body paragraphs, you can get into more detail. So your practice test, I don't think that you really got the connection of how the two sources relate. I don't think you've really expressed what that connection is. And also you have a number of problems with your communication, with vocabulary and so on. For example, in the second paragraph, that second sentence, you said, as wouldn't obviously important seems this important part of budget of any country, the question of the best taxation system is still being debatable among politics and economists. To me, that you have a lot of unnecessary and repetitious type language going on in that sentence, and it's not very clear as to what you're trying to say there. The third paragraph, you have an on. If the proving evidences is a lecture which is providing specific example of cigarette taxation, you need some kind of connection that shows how it's different. You might say, in contrast to the definitions provided in the reading passage, the listening passage discusses some unintended type or negative consequences that can happen as a result of taxation, you might say. So anyway, I think that your score here would probably be between 2.5 and 3.0 out of 5 on this particular speaking task. So you need to get a little bit better organized. You need to have better control of your language, your grammar, your sentence structure, and you need to be more accurate in how you present the ideas.